if you're like, bro, I can never get down tilt F smash like Cosmos. I want to be cool like Cosmos, and I can't do this. I wouldn't worry about it online. Realistically, I would say you're better off. The way I would ledge trap, and this is how I do ledge trap, is I'd stay at roll distance, and I will try and
Mhm.
catch them for if they happen to do neutral get up into shield, you dash and grab them. If they do neutral get up and then they jump, you go for a back air. If they do neutral get up and they try and lunge at you, you dash out of the way and you forward tilt them. Or if they try and do like a get up attack right here, you can jump over the top of it, come down with nair, come down with fair, come down with down air into fair, come down with down air into like a back air. You can do that like 65 depending on certain characters. You can do down air into F smash. I think with ledge trapping, a lot of the time you definitely need to rely a lot on your reads and also sitting back a lot further. Like this is just an online thing to be ledge trapping from back here. You see a lot of top players will say someone like Tilde or Cosmos or like even
Yeah.
Ned or whatever, or even Larry Lur. They stand right here when they ledge trap.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, what the
And I'm
hell?
like,
Like,
and I like, and I copy that.
yeah. Here's the thing. Two things there. Number
Mhm.
one, pro player. That's huge. We can't overlook that for a single second. Whether they're playing online or offline, the intimidation factor that they carry, their timing, their ability to condition, and their decision making is all top tier, right?
Mhm.
All those things are top tier. So their ability to ledge trap from this position has been earned by their skill. Like a million percent. They didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm just gonna ledge trap right here because I feel like it. It's like, no, they've
Yeah.
been doing this forever, literally forever. Like
Mm.
I'll say someone like Larry Lur, for example, he might have been playing for longer than this even, but I know he's been playing at least since Brawl. He might have played in Melee. I don't actually know his history in Melee and stuff like that, but at least since
Mm.
Brawl. It's been roughly 15 years. Let's just put it that way. 15 years of ledge trapping and doing it at this rate, this range, or doing it this range, or like doing all different types of setups. And this is where they get to be very comfortable. So for yourself, if you did want to ledge trap here, I say for the most part, you definitely want to try and do this offline. If you're doing it against computers, it basically is pointless as far as trying to make reads because computers don't care about anything. If you're trying to two frame them, then sure you can two frame a computer. But if you're trying to like get them to roll because you're sitting here, they don't care. They'll get up, attack you, they'll jump, they'll do whatever they want to. So this would be practicing for two frames. As far as traditional ledge trapping, I'd say you're much better off sitting back here and using your range to make somebody have to try and get past you and earn getting back on the stage.
I'm so glad you said that. The whole like experience thing, because the thing about it is, so I come from a background of speedrunning,
Okay.
and what I do is credit where credit's due. I'm a really good speedrunner, and what I
What
do
game?
is Sonic Adventure 2
Oh
battles for the
hell
most
yeah,
part.
bro! Let's go. I was gonna say that's my
So
game, bro. I can't speedrun it, but I've watched a lot of it and I've watched people like dissect it and stuff like that. So, but
so
yeah.
what I do so here's how what I do. What I do is I watch the inputs of a like someone who's better than me,
Mhm.
like the exact frame. Like there have been things in that game that are like triple frame perfect.
Mhm.
It's sort of oversimplifying, but there's like many frame perfect inputs in a row.
Mhm.
I look at their input display because sometimes stuff doesn't happen if you press a button, but like 5 frames later it does.
Mhm.
And it's like then and only then do I like get it. I copied it and I like download and I'm able to do it now because I just was able to copy them like directly. There's no emotion involved. There's no like anything involved. It's just copy, paste. You're doing the correct thing. There
Yep.
you go. And I figure like if I could be good in that speed game, I want to be good in Smash too. But it sort of like involves a different approach, which
Yeah.
is where my learning curve is sort of.
So I can say one thing that's very much so in your favor is you can. I'm sure you can appreciate the patience that it takes to actually get good at something. If you're doing something as tedious as speedrunning, for
Mhm.
example. So it's good that you'll hopefully not get discouraged when things take a long time because it's almost you have something that you can take pride in. If it's like, yeah, this took me a long time, but it's something that a lot of people can't do. So it's going to take them a long time if they want to catch me as well, right?
Hmm.
Like for me, if I just started picking up speed running today, there's no shot I'm going to catch you anytime soon, right? You're miles ahead of me as is. There's no chance. For me to catch you, I have to put in twice as many hours every single day and hope that you quit. Like that's probably what I'd have to do at that point. Same thing for Smash, not the quitting part, but as far as things take a ton of time to try and master, as far as your decision making, your autopiloting, your spacing, your ability to flow chart versus trying to react to everything, your tech chasing, being aware of percents, your decision making based on your stocks and like the stuff we talked about before, how much time's left on the clock. matchup experience, frame data, like all these things compiled, they can take years to learn, right? The biggest thing though, and this like to try and pull this back in here, the biggest difference between, of course, speedrunning or anything that is a one-player game is exactly that. There's no interference by someone else who can just change their mind, right? There's small aspects of RNG in some speed running thing. I was watching a what was it? There's a speed running thing. I'm not sure how much you're into like the Majora's Mask. Did you see that recently? There was a new speedrunning record break. There's a new way to do the first cycle or first day, and they changed the world basically for Majora's Mask speedrunning.
I gotta look into that now.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who the YouTuber was that covered it, but it's what it was is basically there's certain aspects of the game where it's RNG that you can almost manipulate if you know how to do it. But in some cases, it's just entirely out of your hands and you just get completely fucked, and you have to start all over because this one monster or this one enemy just stood in the wrong spot, and now you can't clip through a wall. It's like, all right,
yeah,
it's just something stupid like that. In Smash, it's more so. I'd say it's more like that in the fact that you could ledge trap somebody technically perfectly as far as a flow chart, but I'm just gonna stand up, and as soon as I do a neutral get up, I'm just gonna F smash while you're at 0, which makes no sense. But I'm just gonna do it, and it might catch you off guard, and now you want to ledge trap from further back, or you start running up and shielding or something like that. The one thing that you can try to do as far as controlling your ability to say what is a good ledge trap or a proper ledge trap is to really is to try and not decipher, but like sift through who you should or should not be fighting against and consider it practice. If you're trying to fight against competitive players, they are much more consistent with what is logical to do when trying to get out of the corner or recover or whatever. There's some consistency to say, okay, if I don't have a jump, someone's going to probably chase me off stage. If I do have my jump, they're going to try and make a read on my jump or force my jump out by like running off stage and jumping back on, right? So there's some consistency to what you can do to defend yourself and what you can try to predict. If you're fighting very low level players or brand new players, or like I said, CPUs, even a level 9 or level 1 CPU, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that if they're doing random stuff, you can't really coerce them into doing anything. You can't condition them to do anything, right? It's like, I'm going to tech chase you and then run up on you and jump back like this, and you do a get up attack every single time. And I'm trying to get you to roll in, but you just won't. Right? It's like, okay, well, now I'm just going to go up to here and shield on your get-up attack, and when you do a get-up attack, I'm going to grab you or up-smash you, and then you say I'm cheating. It's like, no, you do the same thing every single time, as far as that, right? Or maybe sometimes I think you're going to do your get-up attack because you've been doing it, and the one time I run up on you like this and shield, that time you actually roll in. It's like, okay, well, what the hell?
For CPU.
I can't condition you because you can't even condition yourself. you're just doing stuff. So from the perspective of how to ledge trap better or make better decisions, it's very, very important, in my opinion, to play against somebody who is a competent player, right? They can be new, but they're trying to also learn what makes sense as well. That's why I'm sure you've heard players, I say notoriously, I think it was Nairo that said, like, it's harder to play a scrub than a top player because scrubs just do stuff. They just do. Right? And of course you're not saying he's losing to every scrub. Like, top players are, like, on average are beating 99% of scrub players, right? But it's like, I can't condition you to be scared of me. I can't condition you to jump from the ledge. I can't condition you to roll because you're just doing stuff. I can run up to you and you're playing banjo and you have one Wonder Wing left, and if you throw it out here and you miss, you could lose. But you also don't realize that, so you just throw it out and you win. It's like, okay, I guess so.
So, like, I'll schedule my next session in, like, the next, like, couple months or so after, like, I get tournament VODs and, like, see, like, what's going to happen from there. But, yeah, like, this was pretty revealing.
For sure, man. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely one of my better coaching sessions. And it's, I'll honestly say wholeheartedly, it's mostly thanks to the student. I would say that it's almost like saying a computer is only as smart as the operator, or only as useful as the operator. Where it's like, you can have a PC or a Mac or anything, some supercomputer, but if you don't know how to use it, it doesn't really matter if your computer was worth $2,000 or $5,000 and can do all these amazing things. If the person putting stuff in is like, they don't know what they're doing. They just use Microsoft Word and Amazon, and that's it. They don't do anything else, right? But yeah, if you're coming in with good questions, you can basically program the computer, in this case me, which sounds super weird to say, but whatever. You can basically get anything you're looking for if you ask the right questions. I feel like on my part, in some cases, it's my job to also try and be able to pull those questions out of somebody too. That's why I'll ask a lot of questions, or I'll pull a lot of examples from other, I guess, walks of life, whether it's like we're talking about speed running or we're talking about sports or music, like we were talking about before, to try and inspire the student to ask more questions or better questions or get them thinking and stuff too. But ultimately, it does boil down to the student having great questions, whether you came in prepared or you got inspired on the spot to ask something as well.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank you so much for thinking that I'm a good student.
100%, man. That's the thing. I even said when we started, I don't like, of course I want to see you play. Of course I want to see you get better. But for me, it's the same thing. If I had an hour, it was, would you rather have an hour to fight MKLeo or talk to MKLeo? I'm picking talk to MKLeo every single time. I just am. Because I'd rather get his knowledge versus just getting my ass beat for an hour than him saying GG's, like, talk to you never. You know, like some players, like I guess I would be a special case where as a coach I could get a lot out of fighting him for an hour and just dissect the VODs myself. But but the average player wouldn't be able to do that or couldn't do that. So they just go and fight it. It's like, oh wow, this guy's really good. It's like, yeah, I already knew that. I didn't have to pay $120 to learn that MKLeo's better than me. Right? I'd rather, I want to talk to him instead.
So, because there's a lot of strong players in my region, like the Northeast United States. So, like, instead of just like playing them nonstop, I should like be asking questions if they're amicable to do so.
Yeah, if they're willing to talk to you, then sure. In some cases too. What region are you in? Northeast? Is that like
Mass?
What's that? Sorry.
Massachusetts.
Okay. Do you know the names of the players, or are they high level but like not top player, or
high level but not top player? Like Mars goes to weeklies sometimes.
Okay.
But I don't like usually fight Mars.
Okay.
And like the person named Nuggets, like Nuggets DM Pac-Man. I think his name is Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, the Pac-Man who used to play Sheik.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like in my region.
Nice. Okay.
Like, tons of people, like I can just like sort of, they go to like obviously tournaments have like sort of died down a little bit, but
of course, yeah,
they're sort of coming back in February, sort of. So now I'd have like a clear sort of thing to do.
Here's what I would say with regards to them. You could ask them for a money match, and you're probably gonna lose, which is totally fine because you're not really asking for a money match. You're more so asking for their time. Just say $5 money match. We'll do a first best of 5, whatever. They're probably going to say yes because it's like, all right, this is free money in their opinion, right? So they do their money match. They probably are going to win. And then you just ask them a question. So like, don't even necessarily say like, what could I do wrong? But like not what could I do? What did I do wrong? You should say, if you were me, what should I have done? Right? Because now they're looking at it to say, if I was you playing your character, this is what I would have done, versus saying you being who you are should have rolled less, or you shouldn't have shielded as much, or you jumped in the corner too much. It's like, yeah, that is what I did wrong. And that's kind of pointing out the obvious, but instead of saying that, the question is almost reverse engineered to say, if you were me, what would you have done instead of roll? What would you have done instead of jump in the corner, right? You'll get a million times better answer if you get to have Mars as a Pyramithra player, or Kool-Aid as a Pyramithra player, or any of your top players as in your shoes, I would say. Right? And if you can get that advice from a money match, you'd be surprised what you're gonna hear, bro. I'd say it's probably some of the best money spent, some of the best advice I can give someone who's looking to get better from other players in your region. If you have that as a resource, then by all means, man. 100%.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah, like this has been pretty illuminating of a conversation. Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you again for Greeno be my coach for a little bit, and I hope to talk to you again like in a couple months or so.
For sure, man.
If not sooner.
Yeah, just take your time when you get your VODs or whenever you feel comfortable. Just hit me up on Metafy and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I'll see you later then.
All right, man. Have a great rest of your night.
You too later.
Take care. That was the best session I've ever had in my goddamn life. I'm just going to say it. Super good questions, good analogies, good back and forth, good aha moments. God, like some of the best. I'm actually a legend. Can I say that? No, I'm going to jail. It's fine. But yeah, guys, people that are watching right now, if you ever want to have a session, I would say that that was possibly the poster child perfect student to have a session with as far as questions asked and things that we went over. Of course, if you want to play, you never ever have to do a session like that where we don't play very much. But I feel like that was way more valuable than if we just played and I pointed stuff out. Like, we can always point things out, and in some cases it's more valuable to do that because all the things that he asked, you might be someone who already knows that stuff. So you're not going to ask stuff like that. Maybe you have other questions that are more game specific. But as far as just coming in with like picking someone's brain, that's how it's done. That's literally how it's done right there.